Students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the southern tip of Vancouver Island in Western Canada, the beautiful capital city of British Columbia. I hope all of you are having a superb weekend. I hope you're being healthy and having lots of fun in life. Maya, Fuang, Domenico, nice to see you in the class. Domenico, you just finished your speaking exam. Maybe share with us how it went, what it was, because you literally just sat your speaking exam. Students, in this class, we are doing IELTS speaking part 3, talking about meeting people. This is continuing from our previous topic, part 2 class that we just finished. A person you would like to meet for a day. Domenico says the topic was about advice. So Domenico, what category is that? Today we're looking at a category of people, right? So talking about people. When we talk about people, we should describe their personalities backed up by actions. We should give a little bit on their appearance. And Domenico just sat the IELTS exam and had a question that was dealing about advice. Giving advice. What category is that, everybody? So those of you who are in the class regularly, you should know that, right? There are 5 kind of categories that we have. Domenico's category was, let's see who figures that one out. In the meantime, everybody, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there for the general IELTS. Visit us at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. They contain all of our materials and tools, as you saw in the last class. Okay. Very nice. I saw several of you answer that. It was, who was the first one? I think it was Tatiana and Anna. Yes, that's correct. Advice is an idea. When you give somebody advice on what they should do and how they should do it, that is an idea that you are sharing with them. Absolutely. So Domenico, talk about a time you gave a piece of advice to a person. Would be kind of an event mixed with an idea, right? You're giving an idea. Domenico, yes, it's kind of a mixture of a person as well. Definitely an idea, though. Certainly it's focusing largely on the idea, right? Like, where did the advice come from? Why did you have that piece of advice as your idea? What did that person need to make that advice come true? And what were the results of giving that advice, right? So definitely kind of an idea primarily, for sure. Okay, everybody, aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. These are the websites we will be using in this live class. And as many of you can see, this is a live class because we're interacting with each other. This is the academic IELTS website here with the blue background. All you need to do to become a premium member is to click this big red button. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. And we help thousands of students every day succeed on their IELTS tests. Hopefully, Domenico, you are one of those people. Yes, of course, part 3 would be about advice. Domenico, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so aehelp.com, we will use this in a little bit to interact with students. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com, green background. Click that big red button there. One-time payment, lifetime access. Doesn't cost a lot, tons of help. Use the code UNITY9 because together we are better. We've already applied that discount code in the last class for that 10% discount, so use that code. That's coming from our most recent video. We have an awesome part 3 and speaking video for you that's available on our YouTube channel where you are right now. I'll put the link into the chat there for you. Soraya, thank you for being a fan. there's the link to that video. Eugen, thank you for the emojis. Yeah, so new video, speaking, really kind of fun, cool speaking interview. It is a mock speaking interview, everybody. Sometimes people are like, hey, it's not a real one. You can't film real interviews. Domenico, just imagine if we had cameras in there while you're trying to do your speaking exam. You'd be like, what's going on? All the speaking interviews you see available on the internet are staged interviews. Okay. All right. So students, the apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. You can link the apps to the websites. We have lots of helpful blogs for you as well on the websites. We're kind of promoting those so people use them more, because when they do, they love them, and some people don't know enough about them. So check out those blogs. This one is about meeting people. Okay. Instagram, yes, of course. We can't survive in the world today without Instagram. We eat, live, breathe Instagram. Kidding, some people do, but we like it. It's a good way to share some info. We've got some quick videos there and vocabulary for you. gieltshelp.com, Instagram for general IELTS. Emails for those of you with questions. Adrian at aehelp.com, admin at aehelp.com. Amazon does have our exam books. You can order those from Amazon, like the actual paper book, the exam book, if you want it. Wanderer says, I don't use social media. I live under a rock, except for YouTube. Right, right, Wanderer. I live under a rock. That's funny. It's a good expression. When a person is a recluse, here's a nice piece of vocabulary for you. So there's an expression there that Wanderer used. That's a good one to share. I live under a rock, like a lizard. It means I am a recluse. Recluse. I never write this word ever. Recluse. I believe it's like that. Spelling is not my forte, but that's okay. I live under a rock. I am a recluse. So I'm not very social. Okay. Soraya says, I want the class for part 3. Soraya, we're doing that right now. Students, before we jump into those part 3 questions, the next class after this one will be on Thursday, the 28th. It'll be speaking part 1. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, use that time to focus on the course, focus on the other videos on the YouTube channel, focus on doing practice exams, and then we've got another live class here on the 28th, then 29th and 30th again, so lots there. To get the schedule, subscribe to YouTube, check the community board, check Instagram. We post the live class schedules there. They're basically the same every week, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll have more live classes in October, and those live classes will be through the website. Ooh. All right. So let's do this. IELTS speaking part 3. Speak and repeat, everybody. Remember what I said. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. I started the last class with some very important advice. I compared the IELTS speaking to another type of speaking. What was that, everybody? So IELTS speaking is strongly comparable to what? Not a job interview. Not a chit-chat. That's right, mensage. It is comparable to public speaking. Exactly. And Chen right after says, speak and repeat and do it again. Yes, that's right, Tatiana. Public speaking. It's comparable to public speaking in many aspects. The one big difference is you have one person instead of many people, right? But in many, many other ways, it's very, very akin to public speaking. Okay. So keep that in mind as we go through these part 3 questions. Okay. All right. Let's jump in. So IELTS speaking part 3 demands full sentences with detail, on topic, some nice examples in there. Let's talk about meeting new people. Okay, so the examiner will say, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with, that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. Let's talk about meeting new people. Many individuals believe that first impressions are very important for good relationships. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not? Okay. Give me a nice full sentence answer for this question. I will give you a nice band 9 answer for this question as well, and then we'll compare our answers and check the differences, similarities, and see how you do, okay? Okay, so here's my answer. I strongly support the idea that the first time a person meets with another has a critical impact on the long-term relationship because humans innately judge one another based on the outside appearance, the way we dress, and our hygiene, as well as our attitude. I met a very rude teacher the other day, and I don't believe I will be friends with her in the future. That's my smooth example. Okay, I didn't say for example. I just gave the example. It makes sense, right? Because it's related to what I'm saying. Okay, so here is my answer. Again, repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. Many individuals believe that first impressions are very important. So first impressions means the idea or the feeling that we give to a person the first time that we meet them. Okay? So many individuals believe that first impressions are very important for good relationships. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not? I strongly support the idea. So notice all the paraphrasing, right? I'm saying the same but with different words. I strongly support the idea that the first time a person meets with another has a critical impact on the long-term relationship because humans innately means we're born with it. It's in us. Okay? Judge one another based on the outside appearance, the way we dress, and our hygiene. Hygiene means the way we take care of ourselves, right? If we have nails that are like long and curling, and we have a long hair and stinky breath, and we have dirt all over our face, it's not very good hygiene. Food stuck in our teeth. I hope I don't have any cereal from this morning. So it's hygiene, as well as our attitude. Attitude, of course, is our state of being: happy, depressed, excited, energetic. And then here, it's kind of, it's kind of like, okay, well, what? All right, let's just throw in a smooth example. I met a very rude teacher the other day, and I don't believe I will be friends with her in the future. Okay, so that's all you need. Doesn't need to be overly complicated. Anna has an answer for this. Very nice, Anna. Thank you for sharing. Okay, here's the rest of it. I see it. So Anna says, yes, I strongly agree with this notion because people are visual creatures who usually remember, you don't need the R because of the remember, who usually remember a picture that they see before their eyes. Okay, I get it, little bit unnatural. Who, and you don't have to weaken your language, Anna, just say remember, okay? Are visual creatures who remember images that they see, especially those they see for the first time. In my opinion, if a person is neat and tidy, it will help her or him. You don't need to mention both students. Oftentimes people think they need to mention both genders. You don't need to, just one is okay. It will help her in the future because almost all individuals judge each other based on their visual impressions, like old people enjoy arguing on young adults who are dyeing their hair, so they remember it. Those hooligans. Right? I had to, Anna. Hooligans with 2 O's instead of that U. Those hooligans. I remember my grandparents. Look at that green-haired hooligan. Right? So they remember it and say, those hooligans. They sure do. Right? This would be the use of a direct quote. Using direct and indirect quotes well in the IELTS exam can definitely get you marks as long as you use them cleverly. Remember that tip, everybody. Okay, so make sure to master direct and indirect quote or speech, I could say, speech for IELTS. Use it effectively, and your mark will go up. I guarantee you, if I'm your examiner and you tell me that, Anna, you say elderly people, when they see kids with green hair, they say, those hooligans. I'll give you some marks. Okay. Anna, with the corrections, it's a good answer. Before corrections, it's about a band 6.5 if you're fluent with those mistakes, okay? There's a couple of awkward mistakes in the original there. With the corrections, with the added direct clause in the vocabulary, now you're at a band 9, okay? Okay. Yes, Wanderer says a hooligan is generally a young troublemaker, typically one from a gang. Yes, that's right. That would be like the dictionary definition of hooligan. A young troublemaker. There you go. It's a great word too. It just rolls so nice. Hooligan. It's kind of like hula hoop. Memory by association. I saw a hooligan break a little girl's hula hoop. Repeat that after me. I saw a hooligan break a young girl's hula hoop. Again, another word I don't write down. Hula hoop, like that. Ooh, hula hoop. That mean hooligan. Who does that? Who breaks a little girl's hula hoop? A hooligan does. All right. Memory by association, sometimes by phonetics, right? By the sounds of words. Okay. Chen's like, wait, what? Memory by association. I guarantee that most of you will now remember the word hooligan and the word hula hoop if it's new for you. Okay. Bekarar says, aren't you going to talk to anyone? I sure will. Bekarar, I always start these classes by giving you some new vocabulary, some new ideas, getting you engaged, getting you comfortable and fun. Remember, a lot of people are new here, right? So if I just jump into volunteering, some people will be like, what? But yeah, we will definitely be doing volunteering very shortly here. Okay. Fuang has this answer for us. Fuang says, yes, I totally agree with this statement. Whenever I recall a first impression, that reminds me of one slogan, that you never get a second chance to make a first impression again, because it not only impacts the last long relationship, but also our image in others' eyes. A person cannot afford a good salary if he never has positive behavior and good body language in his first interview. Okay, a little bit off on the last sentence there, Fuang, but overall not bad. Okay, so it'd be about a band 7.75 with the mistakes. A little bit confusing in the middle sentence, this because one. Okay, so a couple of corrections needed there. It not only impacts the long lasting relationship, but also our image in the other's eyes, if it's plural like that. Okay. All right. Good. Let's go to the next question. Here we go. Where are some good places to meet friends for the first time? Give me a nice full sentence answer for that. Now here, of course, one tip is think about where you meet your friends. And it's okay to think and ask for time if you need it, especially in part 3. Part 3 can be challenging. It can be difficult. So you can say, that's a good question. It is a good question, right? Most of us want to know where to meet friends. That's a good question. Thinking about myself, school and work are great places to meet people, because they are generally like-minded. I met one of my best friends, Dwayne, in my university child psychology class. We have shared interests and similar thinking. Okay, so there is my answer, and I'm using my own experience. This is actually a true story of my friend Dwayne, whom I met in my university child psychology class. Okay, so that's a good question. Thinking about myself, school and work are great places to meet people because they are generally like-minded. I met one of my best friends, Dwayne, in my university child psychology class. We have shared interests and similar thinking. Okay, Wanderer has this answer for us. It depends on who you are. If you are a student, then places like college, university, and school are places where you can find people who share the same interests. But if you are, and then I'm guessing you're continuing here. Okay, Wanderer, good for casual conversation, not good for IELTS. Okay. So this is a good answer for a casual conversation, but not good for IELTS. Why? Okay, so as is, this is about a band 6, if you say it fluently, maybe a band 6.5. Okay. Why do I say that? So, Wanderer, why do you think I say that? Why do I say that this is not good? Okay, Chiny says he's using you. Yeah, you're right, Chiny. Why is that a problem here? Why? Why is it awkward? Beyond just being too casual, it's awkward. So that's one reason here. Why is it awkward to use you here? Wanderer, what do you think? So always analyze your speech, everybody. What do you think? Why is that awkward here? In reality, right? We have to think about this. And again, here's a very good example of where IELTS is quite similar to public speaking. So the question was addressing me. Not really, Wanderer. It's not that it's informal. Yeah, Mensage says, we don't know the examiner. Not only that, but we can even infer that the examiner is probably not a student, okay? So, and I know, Wander, you're like, well, I don't mean the examiner, but I mean like people, okay? So Wander is probably at this point saying like, I don't mean the examiner. I mean like people when I say you. Right? Yes, but technically you are actually saying the examiner. Transiently, you're saying people. Now, in communication, especially in like public speech or professional communication, you don't want to be transient, right? Because it's confusing and it starts to create awkward ideas and situations, right? So the use of you here is quite awkward. The examiner knows that you mean people, but it's still kind of like, well, we're really not talking about me or people like me in this case because I've been out of school and university for 20 years, right? So it doesn't make sense to make you, it's awkward in context, right? So you wouldn't want to use that. So this is a tip for a lot of students, and as you can see, many of you know this. Do not use you in IELTS. It's just generally a good idea to avoid using you in IELTS. Do not use you in IELTS because it's called the second person voice. Does not fit. Except one place. Except for some general IELTS Task 1 essays, but we're not going to go that direction yet or right now. Okay. All right, so that's one reason. What's the other reason? Did anybody catch that? So there's another reason. The use of you is bad in this case. There is another one, and a lot of students make this mistake as well. Yeah, don't worry about it, Wanderer. Yeah, Bekarok says, that means we should not use you know in our conversation. Yeah, don't use that. I've said that before. So Bekarar, if you're in these classes regularly, yeah, do not use you know. You don't know what the examiner knows and doesn't know. It's actually very awkward. Professional communicators will tell you to not use that phrase. It's not a very good phrase. It puts pressure on your listener and discomfort. If the listener doesn't know, then they'll be like, what? I don't know that. And why would you say you know? It's like you're forcing me to think that I know that without knowing that. So it's not actually a very good expression to begin with, right? So don't use you know. You know, people meet friends in pubs. I hate pubs. I don't drink. Why would you just say that right now? Right? So don't. Okay? All right. Now, the other one is the it depends, everybody. I don't know if anybody caught that, but you shouldn't start with it depends. Okay? Be assertive in the IELTS. Okay? Avoid the it depends. People generally don't like that answer. Because it doesn't lead to clarity or action, right? It's like, should I study university in the United States? Well, it depends. Okay, yeah, now don't get me wrong. I know that sometimes we have to look at the positives and negatives and then decide. So we say it depends. Okay, I'm not telling you that, we never use this in the world. We do say, and when we use the you and the you know in the world as well, just not on IELTS, okay? So in the IELTS, it's better to be assertive. Don't use the it depends, okay? It depends. Very often when I'm hearing IELTS candidates and people using it depends, it's very confusing, it's unclear, it's weak communication, so don't use it. Just be assertive. If a person is a student, they can meet their friends in their university classes or their sports clubs. If a person is a little bit older, good places to meet new friends are the workplace or through social gatherings. Okay, strong answer. Don't say it depends. Rather than that, just tell the situation, okay? Yeah, exactly, Chayan. It depends starts the conversation vague. It's like, well, I don't have an answer for you, so I'm just going to kind of talk about it, right? So we avoid it. Okay, here's another question. Let's look at this, everybody. How has meeting people today changed from 20 years ago? Okay. The unfeed, you don't need any word that substitute it depends. Don't use it depends. Don't use any synonyms for it. Just give your answer and be direct, okay? All right. Trnam, TRNAM says, Wonder is saying, so you're saying we should talk like Jordan Peterson? You should talk assertively. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So here we go. How has meeting people today changed from 20 years ago? The development of technology creates such a modern society. Therefore, there are numerous methods to meet each other's, and online meeting through FaceTime is the biggest change compared to the past when gadgets are not popular. TRNAM, let's fix some of this grammar, vocabulary, word order. So the development of new technology has created, right? The question is how has meeting people changed? It's present perfect. So let's show that present perfect. The development of new technology has created a modern digital society. Therefore, there are numerous methods to meet each other online through FaceTiming with apps like Messenger, Viber, WhatsApp. This has been the biggest change compared to the past when gadgets were not popular. I have met at least half a dozen friends through Facebook groups. Okay, that would be the correction. The original TRNAM was about a band 5. The correction is a band 9. Okay, one of the big corrections there, present perfect, changing it from regular to present perfect grammar, or present general to present perfect grammar. And also pay attention to using the correct past when that needs to happen. Include those details and those examples. Students, we're going to practice this again through volunteering. And Chen, you're here today. That's so great to see you. I hope all is going well with you in Nepal. AEhelp.com is where you want to go. Okay. I'll put that into the chat there. It's our website. This is what I showed you at the start of class. I said that we use these websites regularly in these live classes, and we will use it right now. So aehelp.com, you click the big red button to join the premium version of the course. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Once you have gotten to aehelp.com, you go to your My Student account. You can create an account for free. Many of you see this new button here. We're going to have live classes here in October. So we're starting to send out the message. You click on this function right now, the student partner speaking. We've got lots and lots of computer-based practice exams. We've got full interactive course that you should use, lesson videos. So lots and lots of goodies there for you. Okay, Chen's put the instructions in there for you to follow. We're using student partner speaking. Click on that. And then you are in the interface here. We have Miguel here, who just spoke for part 2 in the last class. We have Suman, Manikanta, Maya, Ghazi, Dia, and lots of other beautiful, lovely students that are returning students, new students. I'm going to put on my headphones so I can hear you, and then we will practice these questions. To volunteer, everybody, all you have to do is send me a salutation. You'll find me in here as Master, okay? There will be a blue envelope next to my handle. Click on it and say, hi, I want to try, or let me give this a shot. Ghazi, I remember last class you were really working hard, and I said, I'll keep an eye out for you. I'm a man of my word. Are you ready? Ghazi's getting ready for an IELTS test. As we agreed, right? All roads lead to IELTS. Yes, Chen, live classes on the website. Indeed. TRNM, grammar mistakes cost a lot when it makes it confusing. Okay, if the language becomes confusing. All right, Ghazi. Hi, Ghazi. Ghazi, I can't hear you. Do you have your microphone connected? Should be able to hear you. You're in the same country as me. Shouldn't have to use a VPN. And I heard you last week, so I'm not sure what's changing there. Maybe some kind of a check your microphone settings, your internet permission settings. Ghazi, I'll circle back to you. I'm almost certain it has something to do with your internet settings or your microphone settings. So we got to plug something in, unplug something. I'll check back with you. Okay. All right. Let's check out who this mystery person is. All right. Mystery person. Are you ready? Let's check in with this mystery person. Fuang says mic problems, I think. Yeah, because I heard some kind of weird static there. Fuang, I agree with you. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Yes, David says no name. Invisible. Hello.
Hello, Master. How are you?
I am doing good, my mystery person. You don't have a name in the chat, which is very interesting. What can I call you?
You can call me Muhammad. I was gonna discuss the same issue with you.
Okay.
I was, you know, registering for my account, and I put a name, but I don't know why it's not visible to anyone.
It's the only situation I've ever seen like that. So it's a one case. I have no idea. It's a mystery. It's one of those great mysteries of the digital world. Because if that happened to 3 people, I would say, well, we may be something. But you're the only one, so I have no idea. We'll have to talk about that. Send me an email, Mohammed, and I'll keep an eye out for it, and then we'll talk to the text and see what could be going on. Okay.
Sure. And you can see me on YouTube by Baker Art.
Okay.
I'm that person.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, you had those good questions today. Yeah. Some nice
Yeah.
questions. That was great. That's great. And here you are, even though I didn't see your name. Okay. Well, I'll now know that the person who is nameless is you. All right. And where are you right now in the world?
I'm from Pakistan.
From Pakistan. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Actually, I want to pursue my career in masters uh, in data science. So I'm gonna go to Australia. So for that, I need a 7.5 bands in speaking.
Well, let me tell you, that answer that you just said was at least a 7.5, probably even higher. So you're definitely in the right situation. Let me ask you a couple of part three questions, and then we'll get a little bit more insight into your speaking level. Are you ready, Mohammed?
Sure, go
Okay,
ahead.
here we go. Let's talk about meeting new people. Many individuals believe that first impressions are very important for relationships. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not?
I certainly do agree with this statement. I think um, it's great idea to meet with people and judge them. Well, I'm sorry, I can't come up with a vocabulary right now.
Where are some good places to meet friends for the first time?
Okay, that's a common question. I've never heard this before, but uh, if I am a student, I would definitely meet my friends in school or college. But if I'm working, then I'll definitely go for for the place where I work. So I guess that's it.
Okay, let me give you some feedback, Mohammed. All right. Well, Mohammed, first of all, I commend you for being brave and volunteering. I know the first time you're doing this, it's like, oh boy, there's like more than 100 people listening to me and these questions and so it's totally normal to be a bit nervous
Yeah.
and this is what you need to do. So you just need to do lots of volunteering, lots of part two, part three practice. Okay, I can tell that you have a lot of English. I can tell you have a lot of vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
but you know you're not using it for these kinds of questions regularly, so you need more practice with these kinds of questions. Make sure that you're volunteering in these classes, and also make sure that you're looking for speaking partners on the website. So talk to others that are there. It's just the same as what you're doing with me. Send a message, say I'm on the website, I'd like to practice speaking part three, and then peer practice. It's really good for speaking partners. Okay, so regular practice. All right, let's look at your answers. First, never shoot yourself in the foot in IELTS. And I know people know this, but they do it anyways. So never shoot yourself in the foot in IELTS. What does that mean? That means never say, for example, sorry, I can't answer this question. Or as you said, I don't have the vocabulary for this question. It's like you're basically telling me to give you a band 5, right? I can't speak. I don't have the vocabulary. Okay, thanks. I'll just put that down on the paper. That's a band 5, right? So don't tell me that. It's not good. You want to always finish. So I'll tell you what you can do. Okay, because you can fix this, and I know you
Sure.
can. Okay, so I
All
asked
right.
you. I said many individuals believe that first impressions are very important for good relationships. Do you agree with this statement? And you started well. You started with a good band 8, band 9 answer. You said I certainly do agree with this statement. I think it's a great idea to meet with people and judge them. Okay. And then you said, I'm sorry, I can't come up with the vocabulary. So you kind of panicked, you freaked out, and then you shut yourself down, you shot yourself in the foot, and you finished it with a band 5. Okay, instead of that, what you can do if this happens in the real IELTS, Mohammed, and this is for everybody, is you can say, I'm a bit nervous, just give me a moment to think.
Okay.
And then when you're doing that, okay, so when you actually say that, because sometimes what happens is people will say that and then they're not actually thinking, and that's the problem. So you actually have to think. So what you want to do is you want to visualize, right? So make sure you see what you're about to say. Okay, so see the situation. Okay, so see yourself meeting a person for the first time. When is it a good idea for you to avoid a person when you meet them the first time? What kind of a person do you avoid? So if you meet with someone for the first time, Mohammed, and you're like, uh-oh, I should avoid this person. Why would you think that? So what about their appearance or the way they're behaving would make you think I have to go away from this person?
Well, if that person asks me about anything which I don't know, especially professors, meeting with professor, I'm a bit nervous.
Okay.
Can't come up with an answer. So that's the
Not
that
quite what I was thinking, Mohammed, but that could be. Okay, it could be a situation. I was kind of thinking a little bit simpler. So keep your thoughts simple. So if a big dangerous person with a gun comes up to you looking angry, you're probably going to run away, right? Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay. So I'm a bit nervous. Give me a moment to think. I suppose if a person seems dangerous or rude, then I will judge them to be a person that I should avoid in the future. Okay, so you just visualize it. Okay, and then worst case scenario, give an example. Okay, so if I meet a person for the first time and they seem very angry or depressed, I usually avoid these kinds of people. And then that's okay. That's enough. All right. So if you get stuck, use an example. Let's try this question one more time. I think you can do better. Are you ready, Mohammed?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's do it. Many individuals believe that first impressions are very important for good relationships. Do you agree with this statement?
Yes, I certainly do agree with this statement. I think it's a great idea to meet with people and judge them. So, let's suppose if a person seems dangerous or kind of rude, then I'll judge them to be a person that I should avoid in the future. And
Wonderful. And you can even just stop there, Mohammed. Wonderful. That's exactly it. And now you have a solid band 7.5. Okay. So it's clear, it's thought out. You don't have to say it super fast. Your vocabulary is good. The grammar is good. You've answered the question. You've given me a clear example to support your opinion. You move on. Okay, that's it. So never ever, especially at your level, you should never say, I don't know what to say or I don't have the vocabulary. You definitely do. It's all about the ideas. Okay, so practice these part 3 questions and coming up with these ideas. Okay, Mohammed?
sure, thank you so much.
You're super welcome. Mohammed, thank you for being my first volunteer in this class. Have an awesome rest of your day in Pakistan.
You too.
Bye, Mohammed.
Bye bye.
All right, that was Mohammed. All right, and you've got a lot of support there. You've got some thumbs up, okay, and that's lovely. So content, never shoot yourself in the foot, students. That's why it's good to practice right before the exam, so you can avoid those situations where you're like, I'm stuck, and so on, or etc. Right? There's a lot of weird ways that people kind of finish what they're saying. Himanshu, we haven't spoken to you in a while. Yes, are you ready? Let's see if Himanshu is at their station right now. Yeah, Elizabeth saying brave. Good for you. Thumbs up. Sammy says, I got 6.5 in speaking because of you. Big love from Pakistan. Sammy, thank you so much. Sammy, definitely go to, so use the email and send me a testimonial. I would love to have it. Okay. AH is asking, what was his band? His original band would have been like a 5 because it's not considered fluent. But then once he fluently answered, definitely like a 7 to 7.5. Okay. That was from Mohammed. Himanshu. All right. Hello, Himanshu. Can you hear me? It sounds like you picked up. While I give you a moment to maybe figure out what's going on. Charuz is asking, the link is open with only payment page? No. Charu, you can use the green button on the websites to create a free account. And then in your My Student account, you can volunteer for free. You don't have to pay for this function. Okay. Himanshu, I don't hear you, so I'm not sure what's going on. Check your connection, check your VPN, and then check back. Okay. Shakzad, with a period. Shakzad, are you ready? Hopefully Shakzad's there. Again, remember, students, a really great way to make sure that you're able to connect with me is just simply checking with another person before you try to connect. So reach out to them and say, hey, I'm here. Can we connect? I think the send button was just recently added to help some students communicate a little bit better. Okay. Hi, Shakzad.
Yes, sir.
How are you? Shakzad, can you hear me okay? I can hear you when you're speaking. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you.
Awesome. You sound like you're a bit far away. It sounds like you're on a sailboat.
Not in a room.
No, where are you right now?
I am in my room.
You're in your room. Okay. Speak nice and loud so we can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Shakzad, is this our first time speaking?
Yes.
It is. Okay, because I think in the chat I've answered some of your questions, right? But I don't think we spoke before, so it's great. Shakzad, what country are you in?
I'm from Pakistan.
From Pakistan also. All right, so we've got a good number of students from Pakistan today. That's great. Shakzad, why are you taking IELTS?
I'm for study abroad and bachelor.
Okay, what do you plan to study?
I plan to study BS in artificial intelligence.
Oh, nice. Bachelor of Science in AI. Yeah, a lot of need for that major these days, for sure. All right, well, let me ask you a couple of questions, and then I'll give you a bit of feedback. So focus on nice, full sentence answers, Shakzad, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about meeting people. How has meeting people today changed from 20 years ago?
Time changed day by day and year by year, which is a lot of changes does in past centuries. And also, if we want to talk about the meeting people, the places and the way of speaking, and also the way how we interact with the people, which fall in a different category of their appearance or in their body language. Yes, we can say that it will be changed. It was be changed, and I also in that category. I also
Let's
see
talk
my
about
behavior.
celebrities. What do you think is required for a person to become a celebrity?
If we talk about a normal person, if a normal person got attention by the social media or some kind of platform which were popular in that time or in near future. So some kind of group on the specific platform of social media which gave popularity or some kind of attention to that normal person which are able to become a celebrity through different act because uh, on a different kind of you can say that through pic or through video and so some just like that.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. All right, I like how you were able to answer that question, even though it kind of switched the topic a little bit, and that happens in part 3. It's still both connected to part 2. All right, let me give you some feedback. So your band score for that would be, for the first one, your band score would be about a 5, and your band score for the second answer would be about a band 6. The two together, let's say band 5.5. The first one is a band 5 because it wasn't very fluent. Even if I say it was kind of fluent, it was off topic. Okay, so here I asked you, how has meeting people today changed from 20 years ago? And you said time changes day by day and year by year. There are lots of changes in the past centuries. You have to be careful. Some examiners will actually stop you at that point and they'll just interrupt and ask you the next question. All of this is off topic. I'm asking you about changing 20 years ago. Okay, so you have to say in the last 2 decades, there have been many changes. Okay. You really have to pay attention to the question and use the question in your answer to stay on topic. Students, everybody, if you're off topic, the examiner will interrupt you and just push the next question, okay? They don't have time to listen to off-topic answers. So if you're off topic, they think, maybe you memorized some words or you memorized some answers. I don't want to hear it. Let's just go to another question, okay? So just repeat after me. In the last 2 decades, there have been many changes.
In the last 2 decades, there have been many changes.
The places that people meet, the way they interact has become very different. Just try it. Repeat after me. The places where people meet, the way they interact has become very different.
The place where they meet or interact have been very
Different.
different.
20 years ago, people used to meet face to face. Now people meet online. Just keep repeating.
Can you speak? Can you repeat it?
Yep. 20 years ago, people used to meet face to face. Now they meet online.
20 years ago, people want to meet face to face. Now through online, they meet through online.
Okay, so staying on topic will definitely help your score. So make sure that when you're practicing these questions at home, stay on topic and focus on using the question in your answer. Okay, Shahzad?
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Go for it, Shahzad.
Give me basic tips on speaking on a specific, you can say, in fluency or in grammar or in
Okay.
or body structure.
Yep. I will do that. Okay, so your fluency was about a band 5. Your coherence was a band 4 for the first one and a band 6 for the second one because you were off topic on the first question. On the second question, you were on topic. Your grammatical range and accuracy were both at about a band 5 level, okay, because you did not reflect the present perfect. Your pronunciation is about a band 8. You have very clear pronunciation. I can understand your words very, very clearly, but pronunciation doesn't matter a lot if you're not being coherent, okay? And your lexical resource, I would say, is about a band 6. So I do think that you have enough words to speak fluently with enough practice, okay? So those would be your score, Shaksad. Good question, okay?
Means I need practice more and more.
Yeah, so focus on the right content and practice a lot to just build up your fluency so you can use that rich vocabulary for more continuous speech, okay? All right.
Because I booked my date 12 October.
Okay,
Right.
lots of practice. So 2-3 hours of speaking every single day, okay? All right. Shaksad, come back and speak with me again, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye for now. All right, that was Shaksad. Give him a thumbs up, and everybody speak to Shaksad. So Shaksad's probably going to be in this chat room often because he wants to build his fluency. If you think, hey, I need to build my fluency, or hey, you think, well, did he just say Shaksad has a band 8 in pronunciation? It means he's got good pronunciation. So maybe Shaksad can help me with my pronunciation and I can help him with his fluency, right? So you reach out, you talk to him, you set up some times to meet on the website, use these speaking scripts to ask each other questions. Each one has 3 different scripts. This one about people, so there's 15 scripts there for you, okay? So talk to each other. All right, let's check in with one of our regular students. Let's check in with, let's see what Chayani is doing. Chayani getting ready to go to Australia, so she's brushing up on her English. Chayani, are you ready? We've got a little bit of time, so hang in there. Tatiana was kind of floating over you as well there. Maybe some other new students here. Pavan is in here. Good. All right. Chayani, if you're still hanging out, I know it's getting quite late for you there in Indonesia. All right. Hi, Chayani.
Hello, Adrian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I am doing fantastic, Chayani. Thank you for asking. Chayani, I think you were in the last class too, right? In speaking part 2?
No, I was not there.
Okay. All right. Well, the last class, speaking part 2, it was a cue card. The cue card was talk about a person who you would like to meet with for a day. And some people talked about their family, like meeting a cousin, for example. And then some people talked about famous people like Denzel Washington. And I talked about Einstein a little bit as well. And now here we have part 3. And Chayani, you've done the IELTS exam, right?
Yes, right.
One time or more? I think you did it more than once, right?
Yes.
How many times have you done it?
The first time that I was in October.
Yeah.
October last year.
And then you did it a few months ago, right? Now you're getting ready for Australia. There's a reason why I'm asking you all this, Chayani. So many of you know Chayani. You know that Chayani has been a member, premium member. She's done a lot of IELTS learning and learning about communication. So there's a reason I'm asking you these, Chayani. It will make sense in a second. So part 2 is about talk about a person you want to meet for a day. And then part 3 here, and this is kind of what the IELTS examiners are looking at when they're looking at their questions. So part 3 here has kind of 2 different concepts. One is let's talk about meeting new people, and we ask some questions there. Okay, and I just asked Shaksad the first question out of the next category, which is let's talk about celebrities. Right? So let's talk about meeting new people and let's talk about celebrities. Seems like very different topics. Would you agree, Chayani?
Yeah, that's far different.
Yeah. So why would IELTS do that? Do you know why the IELTS examiner would suddenly jump from talking about meeting new people to talking about celebrities?
Maybe celebrities is very well-known topic right now. So it's wanna try the candidate to improve their skill and the thinking.
Yes, it's also always related to part 3, right? So, or sorry, part 2. They say like part 3 is connected to part 2, right? It doesn't mean that the part 3 questions will be completely the same. Now, I don't know if Domenico is still here because he did his exam, and he said that today his exam was about giving advice, right? So so part 2 was about meeting a person for a day. Some people really want to meet their idols or celebrities, right, that they watch on TV, right? So that's the connection. Especially if a person, I can't remember who did that, but somebody in the last class volunteered and talked about Denzel Washington, right? Denzel Washington's a celebrity, right? And sometimes we meet our celebrities for the first time or meet a famous person for the first time. So that's the connection of celebrities to meeting people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense, Chani. Repeat after me. It makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've explained to students before when the examiner does this kind of a jump. So when suddenly they're talking about meeting new people and now they're suddenly talking about celebrities. Is that a good sign or a bad sign, Chani, if the examiner is doing this?
I would say this is like a good approach.
Yeah, it means that they're probably thinking the student is really good in English and they're trying to surprise the student and trying to see how the student can manage surprising English or new English, right? So it's a good situation, all right? So that's the idea there, Chayani. Are you ready for a couple questions?
Yes, I'm sure I'm ready.
All right, then let's talk about celebrities. What do you think is required for a person to become a celebrity?
There are the conditional required that to be a public figure, like a good looking, healthy body, and also their mental health. Because they gonna meet lots of the fans from different countries and all of the around the world. So that are the essential requirement for each celebrities to become a popular person. Like the celebrities called Nikki, she is to be prepared from certain size, like their body should be healthy and should sleep at least like 8 hours for a day before she perform in the public.
Have you ever met a celebrity before? And if yes, can you tell me about it?
That's a great inquiry. Yes, I have met once of the celebrity when I was in my childhood. Her name is Krisdayanti. She is a ballad singer. That she is like she gave the concert in the public for the first time in my country, Jakarta, in my country, Indonesia.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. That was really good. Okay, Chani, great. All right. Good. So, not bad at all. I would say that that's, again, a solid band 7-ish level, 7.75 maybe. Okay. Some slight grammatical mistakes, but you're definitely becoming more and more confident. And if you're thinking, Chani, like, I'm not improving, Adrian keeps telling me I'm a band 7. Well, first of all, don't worry about that. Band 7 means you're good in English, and that's great. A lot of your grammatical mistakes or word use mistakes will become much better when you're in Australia for a few months. Just make sure to tell people, I know I have some issues with my grammar and word choice. Please correct me when I make these mistakes. Okay, so bravely tell people that always, your classmates, and your host family or whoever you're with or your friends. Okay, so don't be shy about that, and you'll really improve quickly. All right.
Yeah.
Here's a good tip, and this is why I kind of gave you all that background, Chani, about how everything is connected in the IELTS. I think it's very, very rare that questions are not connected. So here, the question was, what do you think is required for a person to become a celebrity? And you said the conditions required to be a popular figure is to be good looking. Chani, that's really shallow. No, I'm teasing. If you're good looking, you can be famous. If you're ugly, no way. Yeah, come on. It's what's inside that counts, Chayani. It's what's inside that counts. But joking aside, one way to really improve this answer is to make that connection, right? So we talked about meeting new people, and we talked about first impressions. Here's a question, Chayani. Do you think to become a celebrity, it's important to make a good first impression?
Yeah, that should be like a good impression to be a public figure.
Absolutely. And you can make that connection. When you make that connection, when you're the candidate who makes that connection, the IELTS examiner is definitely going to start thinking band 8, band 9. So the conditions required to be a popular figure is to be good looking and to make a strong first impression. First impression. Many celebrities, as I said before, are able to present themselves very well, both outside and inside. They wear designer clothing, and they are strong spoken and very confident. Okay, and then now you have a very good connection between those two parts, and the examiner goes, here's a person who is not just speaking English to me, but they're really thinking about what they're saying and how they're saying it, right? So let's try that. Chayani, are you ready to repeat after me?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. The conditions required to be a popular figure is to be good looking and to make a strong first impression. Many celebrities, as I said before, are able to present themselves very well, both outside and inside. They wear designer clothes and they are strong spoken and very confident.
The condition required to be a popular figure is to be good looking and to make a strong first impression. Many celebrities, as I said before, are able to present themselves very well, both outside and inside. They wear designer clothing and they are strong spoken and very confident.
Nice. Okay. That's your band 8 to band 9. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So make those connections. Always look for those connections. Chayani, thank you so much for volunteering and keep practicing. Are you practicing with other students in the chat when I'm not online or at other parts of the day? Do you have a speaking partner?
To be honest, since I passed the IELTS, I really to talk with people from the website, but I do talk from like a different platform with people from different countries like Discord and Instagram. I connect with them.
Good. That's great. Okay. That's what I want to hear. So as long as you're speaking, as long as you're connecting and chatting, book clubs, movie clubs where you watch a movie and you discuss it, or books, they are great places to get you prepared in a fun way for your journey to Australia. So keep it up, Chayani, okay?
Okay, Adrian. Finger crossed.
Okay. Bye, Chayani.
Bye, Adrian. See you.
All right. There is one of our successful IELTS students who is on her way to Australia, and she's using the website and, as you heard, other platforms to not only maintain but improve her English. And so when she arrives to Australia, she feels more comfortable and more confident speaking to people there, because guess what? Everybody's speaking English there. Okay. All right. Tatiana, salutation back to you. Are you ready? Okay, thumbs up for Chayani. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for those claps. All right. Lots and lots of volunteers here. Wow, there are so many of you. I have a meeting coming up pretty soon here. I wish I could get to all of you. Make sure you're speaking with each other, okay? All right.
Hello, Adrian.
How are you, Tatiana?
Good as always. As great as always.
Great. You upgraded yourself from good to great. Awesome.
Yep.
Very good book, by the way, From Good to Great, for those people interested in business. All right.
Okay.
From Good to Great, yeah, is the title. Tatiana, how are your classes going? I know you're doing lots of teaching, right?
Oh, don't mention it. We're figuring out who's the boss.
Okay. Well, that's a good position to be in. So,
we're figuring out it.
Do you mean like you and your supervisor, or you and your students?
Me or the students from the back of the auditorium.
You gotta love those backseat students. Yeah, get them to participate. That's my tip to you. So instead of challenging them, instead of playing into their game, have them play into your game. So if they feel like they want to present a debate, let them present the debate. Always welcome debates, and then work through that. That's just a thought. I've done that in the past, and it seems to have worked out really well. So yeah, but I can empathize with you, Tatiana.
No, they don't want to debate. They don't want anything.
Get them to move to the front of the class.
Yeah. This is
Today
what I
we're
was
playing a
thinking
game.
about.
Yes. People in the front, you sit in the back. People in the back, you sit in the front. People in the middle, just
Amazing
stay
idea.
there.
Yeah,
Right?
it's an amazing idea. Yeah.
You're the teacher. Control that class. All right, Tatiana,
Okay.
I'm going to get into a couple questions. You ready?
Yes, sure.
Let's do it. Let's talk about celebrities. What do you think is required for a person to become a celebrity?
Qualities that are necessary to become a well-known individual are strong confidence in one's own abilities and message they are going to deliver, surely striking appearance, and probably the mission they have. For example, a blogger I follow is a nice young man, quite wealthy. He has built his wealth. He is a self-made guy, and he wants to share his wisdom and his tips with his followers.
Most celebrities earn a lot of money. Do you think this is good? Why or why not?
I don't think it's good, because a great amount of money means great temptation, and under the pressure, considering the pressure lots of celebrities are under, they handle stress by spending this money on vicious methods such as drugs or alcohol or shopping spree, and it's never enough. So I don't think that such great amount they earn really does good for them.
That is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking section of the exam. You will have your mark in 2 days online after you finish the other sections, and your official certificate should be in the mail in about 10 days. Goodbye.
Yay, goodbye.
All right, and that's it. And then you can, if you want, you can go, yay, that felt good, goodbye. Sure, why not? At that point, they're really not marking you. Just don't do anything too weird, and you're fine, okay?
Surely.
All right, but you can say, whew, that was good.
Yeah, of course,
I'm done.
and thank you very much.
Yeah,
Have a
no,
great day.
and
Bye-bye.
you can be natural. You can say, whew, I'm glad I'm done that. I will see you maybe never. So yeah,
No,
that's
in
fine.
2 years. See you in 2 years. Thank you very much. See you in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. When you need that IELTS official certificate again. Okay, Tatiana, that was good. Tatiana, you're very methodical. It's important. It's important to be methodical. So you weren't rushing your answers. Instead, you were really thinking about what you were saying, and that is absolutely okay. So your fluency is fine. Speaking methodically, it doesn't mean that you're not fluent. So your fluency is absolutely fine. Your ideas were okay. I'll explain why in a second. Your grammar was about 7.5. There were a couple of awkward situations, but overall it was not confusing. Okay. Your vocabulary was outstanding. Vocabulary was 8 to 9 for sure. Okay, pronunciation very clear as well, 8 to 9. Okay, overall I would say that was a solid 7.5. I don't think it was one of your best performances, but it was okay. Let me reflect on your answers to give you further clarity. Okay, so I asked you, what do you think is required for a person to become a celebrity? You took a moment to start speaking, and that was okay, because I realized why you did that. You wanted to start strong and with good paraphrasing. So you said qualities that are necessary to become a well-known individual. It was a really nice start. Okay, is one's ability and message they are going to deliver a striking appearance and probably and you kept going. Okay, so when you say that they have strong confidence in their ability and message, you need to clarify that. Okay, instead of clarifying, you kind of jumped to the striking appearance. Instead of the striking appearance, it would have made more sense to tell me what you mean by confidence in their abilities and in their message. So explaining a strong performer like Michael Jackson, for example, historically people recognize him as the king of pop, and that's because he has outstanding dancing style and technique and a very powerful message to rebel against the norm. And this is why he became one of the world's most famous icons, idols, and pop singers, right? So giving that clarity to your listener is more important than giving more ideas. Okay,
I got it. Yeah.
now you gave me the example. You said, for example, a blogger. You don't need to use for example, as I keep saying. You can just say a blogger I follow.
I was just buying a time.
I know it's not a good one though. Sometimes
Okay.
in the IELTS they'll interrupt you if you say, for example, they think you're going off topic or talking too much. So you just jump in. It's almost
Okay.
better to be just silent. A blogger I follow is a nice, wealthy man. He's self-made. And now, here you said he's you follow him. He's self-made. He's wealthy. And then I asked you the next question. Most celebrities earn a lot of money. Do you think this is a good idea? And you said it's not good. And I'm like, but you just said you follow a guy who's self-made and makes a lot of money. You don't think he deserves it? So I kind of created a conflict in my head, right? You have to be very careful with conflicting information for high bands like band 8 and 9. I would have jumped in right away here if I were you, Tatiana. I would have jumped in right away and said, yes, I definitely think that celebrities deserve every penny they make. Because they are so hardworking and talented. Just like the blogger I mentioned, he has millions of dollars and he worked night and day to earn that money, right? So it would be an immediate connection there, right? Do you want to try to answer this from the positive? If I ask you one more time, yes? Are you up for it? Using this approach?
Okay.
Okay. Most celebrities earn a lot of money. Do you think this is good? Why or why not?
I think it's a positive aspect of. I think it's a positive aspect of being a celebrity because they work clockwise to, or they have worked clockwise to earn what they have, and they deserve every penny they have made.
Okay.
For example, the blogger
Yeah.
the blogger which I have just mentioned, have came from a very poor background, and he was penniless when he started, but now after tens of years of hard work, he owns everything a person can desire.
Not to mention, he has helped thousands of people along the way.
Absolutely, and that's why he decided to share his wisdom and help thousands of people along the way.
Very nice. Much better answer. Okay. Much more connected, much clearer, right? So always think about those positive answers. Everybody, Tatiana, repeat after me. He works around the clock.
Yeah. The expression from last lesson. He works around the clock.
Okay. Very nice. All right. So Tatiana, really focus on both the grammar vocabulary as well as the content. So that was, so I think you had really good focus on the vocabulary and really good focus on the grammar. You were missing that equal level of
Coherence.
focus on the coherence content. Once you have that, then you have those really high scores. When you do achieve that, and you have done that in the past, that's when you're getting into the band 8 to 9 realm of very good to expert communicator. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much for your wisdom.
Okay, you're very welcome. Tatiana, get that back row to the front, and we'll talk again soon. See how that
Yes,
goes.
thank you.
Okay.
Have a,
All right.
have a perfect day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Tatiana. All right, that was Tatiana. Really good answers there. Pay attention to those. So for higher level students like Tatiana, make sure that you're really paying attention to those connections. Everybody, that was fantastic. You all did a great job. Make sure to keep working together as a team. Speaking is done in collaboration with other humans. So collaborate, reach out to your fellow classmates and peers to set up study schedules and student partner speaking through these websites. The premium package is loaded with lots of tools and goodies for you. Click the Join Now button to subscribe to the premium version of the course. It is a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. It's absolutely worth it. I'm back on a Thursday with speaking part 1. We did just release a new speaking video, so use the YouTube channel, use the websites for daily studies, and come back and hang out with me next week. I will be posting the new schedule on YouTube on the community board. It's here for the 28th to the 30th. And I will also be posting it on Instagram, IELTS_AE help, GIELTS help. If you have questions, you can send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. And again, the websites, aehelp.com, GIELTShelp.com. Power these live classes. Join them. Use the premium version. You will enjoy it. Chen has just put the links into the chat for you. Maya, I did see you volunteering as well. I kept an eye on you. Domenico, fingers crossed that you're going to get an outstanding score. I'm sure you will have the score online by the time we have our next live IELTS class. So do share. I'm dying to know with excitement. You'll be in my thoughts until then, I'm sure, a couple of times. Students, well done today. Work together, work towards a global unified world. Our tool to achieve that is communication. IELTS is a measurement tool for that. So you are taking steps towards studies, towards a better world, believe it or not. And it's not an exaggeration. Much love to all of you, wherever you are, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, everybody. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada. Bye for now.